Congressional leaders in the White House are struggling to reach a deal on a massive government funding package. Now, Democrats and Republicans still have not agreed on top-line spending numbers that will fund the federal government through the fiscal year that ends in September of 2023. Now, the two parties are about $26 billion apart on domestic spending. Lawmakers warn that they almost certainly will need to pass a short-term measure to avoid a shutdown at the end of the week. The largest ever oil leak from the Keystone Pipeline has been contained in Kansas. The rupture in the pipeline first was detected last Wednesday, caused an estimated 14,000 barrels of crude oil to spill. Now, that is according to the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration of the U.S. Transportation Department. 250 crews had to be mobilized and handle cleanup, and booms and vacuum trucks had to be deployed to stop the oil. There have been at least 3 significant spills along the original Keystone Pipeline system over the last 5 years. Well, WNBA star Brittney Griner remains at a military hospital in Texas for medical evaluation, but we're learning more about her flight back from the U.S. from Russia as U.S. officials meet to discuss the ongoing imprisonment of another American in Russian custody. Naomi Ruckham has more.
The lead U.S. official who helped secure WNBA star Brittney Griner's release from Russian prison recalled his first words to the newly liberated athlete.
I said, Brittney, my name is Ambassador Roger Carstens. I'm with the U.S. Department of State. I'm here to take you home.
Roger Carstens, special presidential envoy for hostage affairs, said on CNN's State of the Union that Griner spent most of the 18-hour flight home talking.
She said, oh no, I've been in prison for 10 months now listening to Russian. I want to talk. She spoke at length about what it was like to undergo that 10-month ordeal.
Griner was freed in a prisoner swap with a Russian arms dealer, the so-called Merchant of Death. There are concerns that Griner's release could jeopardize other Americans held abroad.
It's hard. 2 other Americans, Paul Whelan, Mark Fogel, remain held in Russia. And whenever you trade an innocent American for a guilty Russian, it's an incentive to other despots to essentially grab an American and use them as a bargaining chip.
White House officials were scheduled to meet Monday to discuss next steps in securing Paul Whelan's freedom. The former Marine is accused of espionage, charges the U.S. says are false.
We are committed. We are going to be creative. We are going to be relentless in working with Paul Whelan's family, his loved ones, and in turn with the Russians to do everything we can.
The White House has said Russia was not willing to negotiate in good faith for Whelan's release. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Last July, the U.S. State Department added a D indicator to countries where Americans could be at a higher risk of wrongful detention, including China and Russia.